Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, your girl Kami. So you guys, can we talk about Sweden and Finland joining NATO? There has been a debate, especially here in Sweden, on whether Sweden should join NATO. So yesterday was the day that the Swedish government had to make, a decision on whether or not. And I've been reading the news, and what I read the previous days was that 50% of Swedish people voted yes to NATO. So you guys, yes, let's now check on the news here. Sweden and Finland had formally submitted their application to join NATO in one of the biggest geopolitical consequences to date of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The NATO Secretary General James Stoltenberg personally accepted the Nordic neighbors' membership application at the headquarters of the 30-member US-led defensive military alliance in Haren in the northeast of Brussels. So this happened in Brussels, guys. Sorry. I warmly welcome the request by Finland and Sweden to join NATO. You are our closest partners, Stoltenberg said, hailing the occasion as a historic step and a good day at a critical time for our safety. Sweden's ambassador to NATO, Axel Wanhoff, and his Finnish colleague Klaus Korhonen handed over the application letters from the two Nordic countries, signed by their respective foreign ministers shortly after 8 a.m. on Wednesday. The Finnish president said, his name is Sauli Niinisto, I can't read those names, and the Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson are due to travel to Washington on Thursday, that is tomorrow, to meet the US President Joe Biden for talks on their country's application and European security more broadly. The security interests of all allies have to be taken into account, and we are determined to work through all issues and reach rapid conclusion, Stoltenberg said. All alliances agree on the importance of NATO enlargement. We all agree that we must stand together, and we all agree that this is a historic moment which must seize. NATO ambassadors are expected to discuss the application on Wednesday and could give the green light on opening formal talks with the pair on their request. However, the accession process requires the anonymous approval of all the alliance's members, and Turkey has said it will not support the applications, okay? NATO accession, including ratification by all members, usually takes between 8 and 12 months, but the alliance has said it wants to move quickly given the threat from Russia hanging over the Nordic countries. So you guys, that Russia has been, throwing threats to Finland, to, all the Nordic, to Denmark and all those Nordic countries. Nordic countries' heads. Canada has said it expects to ratify Finland and Sweden accession protocol within a few days. Okay, Ankara says its objections are based on what is described as Sweden and Finland's support for members of Kurdish militant groups and their decision in 2019 to impose arms export embargoes on Ankara over Turkey's military operations in Syria. Helsinki, Stockholm, and the other Western allies have said they are optimistic they can overcome Turkey's objections. Many analysts believe the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who faces elections next year, is seeking concession for domestic political advantage, is unlikely ultimately to veto the applications. Andersson and Niinisto told a joint press conference in Stockholm on Tuesday that the Nordic neighbors, which have abandoned decades of military non-alignment since Russia's onslaught on Ukraine, would go through the accession process hand in hand, in quotes. The Finnish parliament voted overwhelmingly on Tuesday to back the Helsinki government proposal to apply for NATO membership, while Andersson confirmed on Monday after a parliamentary debate in Stockholm that Sweden would do likewise. Finland shares an 810-mile, that is 1,300-kilometer border with Russia, and has maintained strict policies of neutrality, the non-alignment, since the end of the Second World War, viewing NATO membership as a provocation of Moscow. Sweden has stayed out of military alliances and has not fought a war more than 200 years. Can you imagine, guys? More than 200 years. Hey, Sweden is the land of peace. However, Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine on February 24 has led to a profound change in both countries' thinking, with public support for NATO accession in Finland trembling to about 75% and urging to between 50% and 60% in Sweden. Okay, as you are joining us today from Sweden, we all have a small favor to ask. Tens of millions have placed their trust in the Guardian's fearless journalism since we started. Okay, guys, that was not necessary. So you guys, you've heard that Sweden has officially made application to join. Guys, yeah, it has happened. Finally, Sweden has formally made application to join NATO in Brussels, and that is Finland and Denmark. And this is due to the war in Ukraine Ukraine, whereby there has been threats to the Nordic countries, like stated in the news that I read. So you guys, yes, that is it for now. I decided that I have to read this one. I don't want to come here and be saying what I don't really know, but I just wanted to give you an update, reading from the Guardian newspaper, that Sweden and Finland not formally applied to join NATO. So you guys, drop respectively on the comment section, what's your opinion? What do you think about this? What do you think about Sweden and Finland joining NATO? Like they say, they need to stand together, you know, because you never know what will happen. Anyway, guys, yeah, and we've heard and we know that Sweden have never fought a war for over 200 years. So I hope this is going to be good for us. I, as a Swedish citizen, I hope this is for the best of all of us and our children. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I see you in my next video. Bye.